Hey farmers, welcome back to another video. Now if you have heard about baby farms but you are not really sure how to use them properly, or you already have one and you are only using it for storage, then trust me, you are missing out on a lot of value. So just quickly, for those who don't know, a baby farm is basically a second account that you use to support your main farm. And I've already made a full video on how you can create a baby farm where I explained all the basic and important details step by step. So if you're confused about that part, you can go check that video first. Because this video is basically part 2 where I'm going to show you how to actually use your baby farm smartly and get the maximum benefit out of it. I'll be sharing the 5 best uses of baby farms that can help you progress faster, save resources, and make your gameplay much easier. And also, there's going to be a giveaway announcement somewhere in this video, so make sure you don't skip any part. So yeah, let's get into it. Now we are getting into the first and most important use of baby farms in this video, and this is what I personally call the foundation strategy or the Big 4 system. Because once you understand this properly, your entire gameplay becomes much more stable and efficient. The idea is simple. Your baby farm becomes a dedicated production support system for your main farm, especially for the items that constantly slow you down. And these are the 4 key areas you should focus on. First is dairy production. This includes cream, butter, and cheese. These items are always in high demand and constantly being used, whether it's for products, town visitors, or even boat orders. On a main farm, dairy usually becomes a bottleneck, not because it's slow to produce, but because it is needed in almost everything you make. So whatever normal amount you produce never feels enough because it's always getting used up quickly. That's why shifting dairy production to your baby farm is so powerful. It keeps a steady and continuous supply of dairy items while freeing up your main farm to focus on other production chains without constantly running out. Second is sugar production. This includes brown sugar, white sugar, and syrup. Just like dairy, sugar is something you need all the time, especially for products like cakes, ice creams, and so many other items. And again, the problem is not that it's hard to make. It's that it gets used up so quickly. You're always crafting something that requires sugar, so your stock never really builds up. So if your baby farm is handling sugar production 24/7, it completely removes that pressure from your main farm. And once you have a steady supply coming in, you'll notice that you are no longer stuck waiting for sugar to finish. You can just keep producing without interruptions. Third is animal feed production. Now this is something a lot of players don't think about, but it actually makes a huge difference. Certain feeds, especially things like goat feed or sanctuary feed, take more time and can easily interrupt your main farm's production flow. Because your feed mills are always busy, and when you start adding these slower feeds, everything else gets delayed. So if you move these time-consuming feeds to your baby farm, your main farm can stay focused on the faster and more frequently needed ones like chicken and cow feed. This keeps your production running smoothly without unnecessary delays. And fourth is bulk crop farming. This includes crops like tomatoes, strawberries, and other slow-growing items that you often need in large quantities. On your main farm, planting these crops can block your fields for a long time, especially when you need space for quicker crops or event tasks. So instead, you can use your baby farm to grow these crops in bulk. That way, whenever you need them, you already have a ready supply without slowing down your main farm's workflow. Now, the second best use of baby farm is turning it into your personal support system, especially for events and derby. Because normally we depend on other players for help, but with a baby farm, you can literally help yourself anytime. You can fill your own boat crates, help with truck orders, revive your own trees and bushes. Basically, you are no longer waiting on anyone. But this becomes even more powerful during events and derby tasks. For example, for help tasks, you can plant trees and bushes on your baby farm and let them dry out, and then use your main farm to revive them. So instead of searching for help in the newspaper or waiting for requests, you already have your own ready-made help system. And the same goes for boat and truck orders. You can produce simple low-level items like bread or cookies on your baby farm and use them to instantly fill crates on your main farm. This saves a lot of time, especially when you are trying to complete tasks quickly or during time-limited events. So overall, your baby farm becomes like a backup teammate, always available, always ready, and extremely useful when it comes to events and derby. Now our third use of baby farm is using it for smelter and metal production. Because as you level up, you start needing a lot of metal bars, whether it's for upgrading your personal terrain, your truck orders, or making jewelry. And the problem is, smelters take a lot of time. So if you rely only on your main farm, your production can feel really slow. But if you set up smelters on your baby farm as well, you basically double your metal production without affecting your main farm at all. And one more important thing, I've actually explained this topic in detail in one of my previous videos because it's a very important strategy. You don't need to do mining on your baby farm. Instead, do all your mining daily on your main farm and then transfer all the extra ores to your baby farm and process them there. This way, your main farm stays focused and your baby farm handles all the remaining smelting work efficiently. You can keep producing gold bars, silver bars, platinum, whatever you need, and then transfer them when required. And over time, this saves you a lot of waiting and helps you progress much faster, especially for truck orders. So even though it's a small thing, using your baby farm for smelters is actually a very powerful long-term strategy. Alright, before we move to the next point, I promised you guys a giveaway, so here it is. I'm going to be giving away 15 super boosters for Loom to some of you watching this video. And don't worry, it's very simple to enter. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below your farm level. That's it. I'll pick the winners from the comments. Alright, now let's continue with the next point. Now the fourth use of a baby farm is what I like to call the newspaper advantage. If you keep your baby farm at a lower level, ideally under level 25 or maximum under 30, you'll notice a huge difference in the newspaper. It becomes much easier to find useful items, especially tools. And if your baby farm is even lower, like around level 10, then it gets even better. You'll start seeing a lot more access, saws, and mining tools in the newspaper. And the reason is simple. Lower level farms need coins more than anything else. So they often sell these valuable items just to earn money. Even land expansion materials and upgrade tools are easier to find because the newspaper is not as cluttered as it is on higher level farms. So by keeping your baby farm at a lower level, you basically unlock a cleaner and more useful newspaper where finding important tools becomes much easier. Now the fifth use of a baby farm is something I like to call the fishing net factory. Once your baby farm reaches level 27, you unlock the fishing area, and this is where things get really useful. You can use the net maker on your baby farm to continuously produce fishing nets and duck traps. Now the key idea here is, fishing nets take a lot of time to produce and use. So instead of using your main farm for that, you let your baby farm handle all the net production and fishing. This way, you keep getting a steady supply of fish fillets from your baby farm without touching your main farm's machines at all. And at the same time, you can use your main farm to focus on lobsters and duck feathers. So basically, you are splitting the workload smartly. Your baby farm handles passive fish production and your main farm focuses on higher value items. And in the end, this almost feels like you have doubled your fish production without any extra effort. So those were my top 5 ways to use your baby farms, but now let me give you a bonus tip, and this one is a bit different. This is what I call the re-engagement hack, and it's basically a way to get free rewards without even playing actively. Now sometimes managing baby farms can feel like too much work, and that's completely normal. So instead of forcing yourself to play all the time, you can actually let your baby farm rest for a while. And when you come back after a certain period, the game rewards you with really good items, including tools like saws and axes. So yeah, those were my top tips on how you can use your baby farms more effectively. These are just strategies that can really help you, especially if you ever feel stuck on your main farm or feel like something is slowing down your progress. But at the same time, I want to say this, don't feel like you have to do everything at once. The whole point is not to overwhelm yourself by managing both your main farm and your baby farm together. It completely depends on your own pace and how you like to play the game. You can pick 1 or 2 strategies from this video and start with those. You don't need to apply everything at the same time. So just take it easy, enjoy the game and play at your own pace. Now let me know in the comments which of these tips are you already using and which one are you going to try next. And don't forget, there is a giveaway in this video, so make sure you have followed all these steps to enter. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on the bell for more heyday tips. And I'll see you in the next one. Happy farming!